Chicago, straight from the bank, gassing up the tank, cranking up the radio, playing old Hank, it ain't that long.
Hey, well, welcome everybody. Gold Fever Radio. How y'all doing out there in Happy Land? I guess it's Happy Land, huh? Hope you guys are all having happiness. Let me see if I can get over somehow to the chat room there without screwing everything up here. I'm on my phone again, so I can't go there. Let me see how I get over there. Comment sections there. There's Guy, Carl, Paul, hello, Dig, 65, it looks like. Bobby, hello. Welcome, hello. Anyways, so I'm out here. I'm in Utah. Some of you guys have heard about this Moon Lake gathering, treasure hunter thing. So that's what I'm out here doing. But before we get to all that, let's see what's going on here in the world. It is Wednesday, July 26, 2023. Can you believe that? There is 159 days left in this year. It is kind of sprinkling a little bit on me. I am outside. Can you believe that? Did you know today is National Bagel Fest Day? Okay. It's also National Coffee Milkshake Day. Now, I've never heard of a coffee milkshake, but I guess they have it. And it's also National All or Nothing Day. So we're either going to be all or nothing. I don't know if you guys can see it sprinkling, but it is kind of sprinkling. There's a tree over here. Maybe I ought to walk over here behind the tree. That's my rig right there. You guys can see my rig pulled in right here. Let's see. If it's your birthday today, you share birthdays with famous people like Sandra Bullock. She's only 59 years old. Born on this day in 1964. Mick Jagger, 80 years old. Born on this day in 1943. And of course, if it's your birthday, happy birthday to you too. So what's going on here in the world? Let's see. We got our Meadview push still. That's October 14th through the 15th. Still openings for that. So get online, come on out for that. Get your some gold. Bring a backhoe in there and push up some material and metal detector, dry wash, whatever you want to do. We have our New Year's extravaganza at the camp. That's December 27th through 1/1. And of course, we got the Patreon outing. That's for all channel supporters and Patreons. That's going to be November 18th and 19th out on one of the claims out there by the camp. There'll be more information posted on that later on. If anybody's interested in any of that type of stuff, the number to call is 928-851-7167. Let's see. Send the rain here towards me in Phoenix. I hear you guys are cooking up there in Phoenix. Let's see what else is going on. We just did our wheel prizes. Gave away all the prizes. That was all the winners are posted on Facebook and the Facebook page there. So you can go to Facebook to look at all the winners list on that there. I haven't mailed the stuff out yet. I'm kind of out here in this small little town. And when I leave here, I got to get everything boxed up and mailed out. So there'll just be a little bit delayed, but you winners will get all of your stuff. Let's see. So like I said, I'm out here in dinosaur land. You know, the dinosaurs walked the face of this earth millions and billions of years ago, whatever it was. So I'm out here in dinosaur land. But I'm going to go to this Moonlight Gathering, and there's a couple other people that's going to be here and go to it. I'm here in the yard of Mike Lockwood, and there's old Robert over there. So maybe Robert should come and say hi, huh? These should be some of our guests tonight, huh? Some of these people from this going to these treasure hunting things. Craig Carter, hello, Craig. Aaron, hello, Jack Wood. Love to be there in Utah with everyone. I'm sure you would. Right there. Let me, how do I get you in there? There. Yay. What's happening?
Hey, not too much.
What are you doing up here, man?
Oh, just kind of looking for treasures.
Where did you find any?
Oh, maybe a couple.
What'd you find?
Oh, I can't tell you.
Can we tell people we went up and flew a drone?
Yes, we can. We just can't tell them where.
Okay. Well, so we went up. He knows where this hole in the ground is. I have a hard time holding that camera. He went up. He knows where this hole in the ground is, or this hole.
hole in a cliff.
A hole in the cliff, and so they think there's treasures in it. So we flew a drone up there, and that drone, wow, that was up there almost a mile, man.
Almost a mile.
So that
Yep.
drone goes up there a way. So, see, howdy, Terry Curry. Terry Curry, hello. Lisa. Let's see if I can see anybody. If I missed you, because I don't have a big screen here on the computer. I like the show. Well, thank you, Aaron. So anyway, where's old Mike at? What's he doing?
Oh,
He's the one with all the stories.
Yeah, let me see if I can go get him.
Okay, you going to go get him?
Yeah, let me see if I can get him.
Okay, cool, man. So, so sitting here, I've been here since, I don't know when I got here. Yesterday, maybe? I think I got here yesterday. Mike asked me if I knew how to play horseshoes. I told him all I've played before. So he had me play a game of horseshoes, and he kicked my ass. Horseshoes. I had to let him win, you know. I want him to feel good. So, but, no, he kicked my ass in horseshoes. You know, it's his pit. So, hey, that goes to thing. Let's see. Gold Finder's drone. You know, drones are, those things are amazing, the distance they can go out. And it's just harder to see when you've got a little screen exactly where you're at and all of that there. But we went out. Will we shiny gold? Find the good stuff. So I was metal detecting this guy's property. This used to be one of the original houses that was here, and so I was metal detecting, and I found a bunch of coins. But the oldest coin I found was a 1907 Indian head penny. We know there's more stuff buried here. I'm going to see if I can get this camera flipped around here. So let me see. So hold on a second here. See if I can flip this around. Let's see here. Pulse. No, let's not do it that way. If I lose you, I'll still be here. So don't run away, everybody. Let's see. No, cancel that. How did I do this last time? Let's see. Camera. Nope. Okay, not that. So not that. More. It's got to be in the more. In the settings. Camera. There we go. Front. We want the back camera. All right. There we go. Look at that. There he is right there himself. Mr. The one, the only. Mr. Cool. Look at him in them dark shades, man.
How's that?
Mr. Lockwood. I hear you're so full of knowledge and wisdom of this whole place out here, man. You know everything. You were one of the original people in this town.
Yeah, my family been here since the 30s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've got horses, and we go in the mountains all the time, go hunting and exploring. And this was my grandpa's house, and before he bought it from the county, and it was an old trapper shack. And it was built in 1903. It was one of the first houses built in Duchesne. This was still reservation until 1905, so I don't know how they got away with that, but there was a Murdoch store. All the roads were dirt. We had ditch lines, feeding our gardens in our yard. But this house is what's interesting. This is the original 2-room homestead that I've been working on, and this was actually built in 03 by some trappers, by the county trappers, and then in the 40s, the county trappers built on this other section of the house. And of course, I built on a laundry room onto that. But there's a lot of history right here. I've got pictures of these trappers that had either trapped or killed the bear, and it was on the front of the wall in the picture, and the 2 trappers were standing in front of them with great big woolly beards on them and long scraggly hair. And I don't know how long they worked for the county, but they looked like they were trappers. They looked like they fell out of the movie Jeremiah Johnson or something, you know. And this was just a wagon road out here. And my grandpa bought it in the early 50s, and he raised 7 kids in here. Him and his wife. So there was 9 of them in this little place.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty incredible.
Was you born here?
No, I was actually born back west.
Oh.
I came out here when I was just after I was in kindergarten. So I won't give away my age.
Well, I think everybody can figure that out by all the dates already. So
yeah,
so
we go up here. That's what's really interesting. That's what kept me around this country is the rich history in this area. We've got everything from the ancient ancient peoples, clear up to the woodland Indians. I found so much archaic stuff up here, and even more ancient than that. And that's what we're looking for. You know, you can go out and find Indian relics all over the place, but you know, you get tired of that after a while. You know, find an arrowhead, whoop-de-doo. You know, but find a Spanish helmet or other things, then you get pretty excited when you start seeing that there were actually ancient dwellings up here and pyramids and Egyptians.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now you're Knights Templars. Seen Knights Templar writings up here. Ancient Hebrew writings up here in the canyon. So smelters and kilns and just a variety of history up here. So that's kind of what's kept me around the country.
So why do you think there were so many Spaniards up in this area?
Well, you know, they tortured Montezuma, and those guys wanted to know where they got the gold, and they told them in the mountain range that ran east and west, and they drew them a map to get here. That's what brought them here.
So there's a lot of gold up here then.
There's gold everywhere, but as far as ancient things, artifacts, yeah, this country's rich for it. So
I noticed that you like to go out and you like to look for a lot of those treasures.
Yeah.
He knows there's a second part coming to this. And I see you driving a brand new Dodge truck and
yeah, living in a big fancy house.
Yeah.
That fancy 1903 house.
Well, that's how you disguise it, you know. Then people that find that, they don't go buy.
Yeah, and then they see everybody pulling with new vehicles and new razors. And, Did Mike just buy those?
Yeah. So how long you been out looking for treasures and all that in this area?
45, 50 years.
Oh. So you know this area pretty well then.
Yeah.
So I bet you could go to some really cool spots.
Yeah, I know some really, really cool spots. Found some really, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and there's still things up there to be found. I'm not going to quit looking because I found things. I want to unearth something that would change the way man thinks of his existence. And it's going to come out of these mountains.
So the stuff you find, what do you do with it?
I show it to my friends.
And hide it?
And keep it stowed away. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If you look hard, you find it. You probably find it with your metal detector.
So you ever thought about maybe writing a book of history of just all what you've been on and doing?
I started writing down the trips I would take, who I would go with, you know, what we would find or what we wouldn't find. If you're going to be an explorer, you got to experience failure and still be able to have enough will to go out and look some more, even though you might go year after year or go up there for 2 months at a time or a month at a time and not find anything. And but some of the things I found, I stumbled across them, you know, tired and wore out and trying to get out of the hills and trip over something and turn around looking at the barrel to an old rifle or something. Just a lot of that stuff, that's how, if I'm actually out looking hard and following stories, a lot of times they're just stories. They don't really lead you anywhere. And if they do, it's not of any real consequence. But so you got to kind of make your own story. And that's kind of what I've done chronologically, just put stories together for the last 20 years. You know, pretty interesting reading, but it's just personal to me. I don't know how it mattered to anybody else. You know?
Oh, well, it's still, I've always wondered, so somebody will write a book and they'll draw a map of how to get to the treasure.
Yeah, right.
But how come then they haven't already found the treasure? You know, why
it's because it's a map that's probably been redrawn from a map previous. It's been redrawn from a map previous to that. And that's where you start getting these theories. You got to turn it upside down, face it backwards. Some of that is true, but not all the time. You know, be realistic about it anyway. You know, yeah, we know that there are Spanish were in this country. Yeah, we know there were Aztec in this country and Egyptians. We see the writings. Where did they live? They lived like us. You know, they wanted to be by a water source. You know, you lose a water source, you lose an entire community. So they were by water sources. They were plant and feed themselves. And they were not just hunter-gatherers. You know, these guys, you go up here and there's wild onions and things where you can see where they had gardens way back in the archaic age. You know, and there's monolithic stones, square cut stones that nobody could. I mean, archaic. Even if they are hunter gatherers, they're not going to move those stones onto these trails that I go on. You know, who did that? Who built that stuff? You know, he had to have been either a great big giant guy or be able to move that rock by
levitation or something.
Yeah, levitation of some sort through frequency or something.
Yeah.
Real interesting things in this country, for sure. So there's places where I'm going to take you where we can go down inside of the earth.
Oh.
And I don't know what's there.
Oh.
Might be a bunch of spiders. I don't know.
Oh.
Be like the last Indiana Jones or something. You know, but you have to rappel down it. So
well, that's when I'm going to film you rappel down.
I can still hold my own on cliffs, but that it would disguise things and make it look like it goes nowhere. And you go around a little corner, and there's a sneaky way little back in there. But when you look down in there, and even when you're down in there, you don't really see you're looking around. You're looking around at the rock, you know, and then you're looking on a way to get out. You know, you're not really looking for a way to go in farther. And that's what this is. They actually built a trap underneath of the floor that you're standing on when you're down inside this shaft. You know,
this is what you're calling the death trap, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the death trap.
That death trap. Yeah, so I was down in there 35 feet, and my friends were supposed to be up there, and they'd invited this girl, and they were all
so they were
leaving me alone down there by myself.
Well, then they're not your friends.
Yeah, my friends.
Yeah,
good friends, good exploring friends.
Yeah,
they weren't exploring the same thing.
Yeah, yeah, something else.
Yeah. And I don't ever know if they ever found anything either.
They were trappers, all right.
But I don't think they found anything either.
Yeah.
But but I know a way in there. And like I said, I was down there. When I looked back up, my rope was laying against a log about that big around, and somebody had axed it and chopped it on both ends, and it was about 3 foot long, setting up inside the ledges. Setting up inside, you could tell it was placed there, and there were big rocks sitting on top of it, and my rope was hitting that. So I'm yelling at my friends, of course they're not there, to push my rope off to the side, go back in that crack of the rock and just push it with their arm, and so I can get up out of there. I don't want to go any farther. You know, I'm done. Nobody there. The whole time I'm climbing up, I'm watching that rope hit that log. Oh man, this whole thing's gonna come down in on me, you know. So I got out of there. I'm here today.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm gonna take you. Does it sound promising?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I can't wait, man.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah,
I'm excited too, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm real excited. What day's that?
Sunday of all days.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I got to
after
go to
communion,
church on Sunday.
Right after communion.
Yeah. I think I got to go visit the bishop after
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I gotta get a special prayer before you go.
Yeah. More a special prayer.
Yeah. Get your blessing.
Yeah. So you know where a lot of the old probably a lot of writings are up in there, and
I'm still yet to take Robert to a lot of this stuff. He's come out last summer, and we went looking for call it bear hunting, but we're on some pretty interesting things up in backcountry a little bit. But yeah, I haven't taken the writings. I haven't taken no smelters or arastas or anything.
that's all cool stuff, man.
So
Oh yeah, it's fun stuff to look at.
Yeah.
Try to learn from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Robert's
Interesting.
got a pretty good eye. He can spot
I
things.
see his eagle eye, you know.
Yeah.
Did you go to the Utah State Institute of Eye Surgery? Because I did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I should have had him give me a treasure finding eye,
There you go.
but I opted for the sniper eye.
Well, you know, when I'm treasure hunting over there in Arizona, and here they call me the finder, but in Arizona they call me the scout. So yeah, I'm doing okay with that.
Do you want to know what we call you here?
What do you call me here, Mike? Just don't call me late for dinner.
Right.
Okay, I already know that one.
I've always just heard when in doubt, send in a scout. Okay, so cool. So we got stuff planned
Boy
then, huh?
Scout? Or you're Explorer Scout now, right?
More like a Ranger.
Eagle.
Ranger Scout.
He's
Okay,
Eagle.
he's graduated.
Yeah, he went all the way up to
Eagles.
Eagle. All right, man. Any other stories you want to tell us?
How much time you got?
Oh, we got all the time in the world,
Well,
man.
I can think.
The only
about,
bad thing about this, my arm's hurting. But
well, let's do this. Let's think of a good one, and
Okay.
then when your arm gets healed up, we'll try it again.
Well, no, you're still good.
This is lost.
Let me try to. Oops, I put my hand in the front.
Are you ambidextrous?
No, what I'm going to try and do is get to a commercial here. I got it. So hold on. Let me see if I can do this right here without killing everything. Because sometimes I kill everything. So hold on, everything, folks. There, if I do that, I got to get to. Let's see, brand over here. Okay, hold on, folks. We'll be right back.
ICMJ's Prospecting and Mining Journal is the only monthly gold prospecting magazine published in the United States and is the most comprehensive and respected magazine about gold prospecting on the market today. With readers in all 50 states, it features articles on detecting, high banking, dredging, small-scale operations, assaying, basic geology, how to read the land, regulations, and more. Our monthly Ask the Experts column is answered by true experts. It features answers to readers' questions on processing, detecting, geology, and any other questions you may have related to finding and recovering gold and other precious metals. The Mining Journal features the most extensive selection of equipment, mining properties, services, and more, and a classified section featuring over 20 times more new and used items than the nearest competitor. The Mining Journal has been in continuous publication since 1931. A full 12 issues is available for just $27.95, and discounts are available for 2- and 3-year subscriptions. And an online subscription gives you access to over 3,000 articles going back nearly 20 years. Our purpose is to teach you how to find more gold. ICMJ's Prospecting and Mining Journal is the tool you need to succeed. It's time to raise your gold prospecting knowledge to the next level with ICMJ's Prospecting and Mining Journal. Give us a call at 831-479-1500 or visit www.icmj.com. That's www.icmj.com.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Let me turn this right here, this way. How can you guys see me now? Without flipping the camera around, I'll just flip the phone around. That's right, I'm talking to you on my phone. Welcome. Out here in near Duchesne, Utah is kind of where we're at. They got this Moon Lake gathering going on. Let's find out more about that. Let's see. Did I miss anybody coming in? David V. at Gold and Silver. That's amazing history. What were they trapping? Terry asked. Let's see. Shiny Gold. Amazing history for sure. Steve Collier. Hi, y'all. Hello, Tommy. Okay, so I can't go too far back on this here. Let's see. So what were they trapping? Somebody asked. Oro. Why Plata? Gold and Silver aliens, somebody said. Mike. Tommy Knockers, David says. Let's see. Dig Edward Leeskin something. I want to join you guys, David says. Red. Hi, everyone. Hope you're pantsy. Roland Saxton. Hey. All right. So what were they trapping out here?
Everything. So being a county trapper.
Let's walk this way a little bit, okay?
Especially
just because it's starting to rain. Let's get under this tree.
It's raining? You don't like rain, do you?
No, I melt.
Do you? Well, you're from the desert.
That's right.
Sense. It never rains there.
It never rains there. Only rains in California and Utah.
So you have, when this was wild country, it was nothing to have. I've had bears in my backyard, had moose in my backyard, elk and deer. And back then, when people were moving in here, they would have problems with the mountain lions and the bear and all those kind of things. And the county trapper's job was to take care of them, to tranquilize them. Well, back then they just disposed of them. nowadays, they tranquilize them and they move them to another area, and then they become a problem there.
Yeah, that's real stupid.
Or they might on their way migrating back to where they trapped them and took them from. That happens a lot now. But yeah, there were just different critters. When I moved here, there was badger, and I actually thought I seen a wolverine one day when I first started working on the old place, but that was years ago.
So this Moon Lake Gathering, this is what everybody's up here for. You want to get over here, Robert? Help share all of this knowledge. What's all this about? What are people doing here and all this
they're
stuff?
explorers. There are people that's been in the mountains. There's people that's found treasure. There's going to be a guy here this year that found the national treasure.
What's the national treasure?
Well, national treasure was a lot of big golden statues and artifacts and gold and bricks and different various items. There was also Civil War stuff in there, ancient things, like Aztec. So when he supposedly in the story, he dug down 65 feet.
He went down 90 feet.
90 feet.
Supposedly, as I understand the story, he went down 90 feet, dug a shaft. First, he found a square stone that had Montezuma's head on it. So then he knew exactly where he was. Moved the stone over, dug a shaft 90 feet down, and
fell into the arms of a golden statue.
Holy mackerel.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. He's bringing an artifact so they can use the TFR gun.
That's the RFX gun. And if you're there at the Moon Lake Gathering, there's a guy by the name of Greg Gardner, and he is the guy that owns the Moon Lake Resort. And he'll have that RFX gun out there. And for $30, if you got something that you need to have checked it for metals or anything in the ferrous, non-ferrous, or metal form, he can do that for you.
So this guy's bringing a statue that he found inside this cavern of this national treasure, what he's calling it. And Greg's going to take and shoot it with that gun and find out what it is.
So, but I thought something to do with the Antiquity Act, that you're not allowed to keep a lot of that stuff, or how?
Now, if you go through the right paperwork and the right channels,
you can do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. You can keep it for yourself, but it takes a little while. It takes a couple years to do something like that. And if you know the guy that wrote the antiquities laws, of course, that helps too.
Yeah. If you know anybody that writes the laws,
yeah, so he can pull some strings, knows where to dot the I's and cross the T's.
Yeah.
Get everybody on board. I got a buddy of mine. He found a Viking sword up here in Yellowstone, and he went to auction with it after he got ownership, and the auction went up to $2.2 million for it, and he turned it down.
Wow.
He told me himself, they'll give me $8.2 million, they'll give me 10. So he went to another auction with it, and and they started out, nobody bid $5 million, somebody bid $4 million, and it went up from there, but he got his $10 million for it.
Wow.
I seen it myself. I seen the inlays in it and all the rubies and all the precious stones in it. You know where he kept that sucker?
Under his pillow.
Better than that. Under something, but not his pillow. Under his Rottweiler's doghouse.
That's probably a good idea. Yeah.
He kept that damn sword for years.
Yeah, that's probably good.
That's Rottweiler. You didn't pet it.
Yeah.
You wasn't nice. That dog was not nice. He was very fierce.
So did he keep searching? Because if you found that, you'd think there'd be more stuff around that area.
He kept looking for no stuff. Didn't ever find anything else. But he'd take $10 million. You probably go have a pretty good time.
Yeah, so he's living in Vegas in a high-rise paint house now.
Well, yeah, you might be drone delivery.
Yeah. So what's happening on this Moon Lake thing? What's the kind of the itinerary, I should say?
Well, it's just a bunch of guys, a bunch of explorers that has found things, people that are still in search of, and they've got their clues they're looking for, and they sit around and tell their stories, like Dale Bascom. Brilliant guy. Got all kinds of extremely valuable information. Some things, he has the copper map for up above Moon Lake, and the copper map, it's an original Spanish copper map. It's thin, and it's maybe about that long and about that wide, and it's got symbolisms on it, like a bird and an old house-looking thing, and a couple X's, and this weird rock feature line thing that he's drawn on it. And really interesting, and that's where we go up in part of that country once in a while, and we look around for, and found nothing up there. There's no Spanish maps or documentation on what we call Lake Fork Ridge. There's just nothing. You can't find out any information on it. There are certain areas around here that, well, I've been to the Library of Congress in Virginia and done research on them, on the microfish, and they're just some areas you can't find any maps. You can't find any. So I went there and I wanted to know where the Kingsmen's houses were, and the Kingsmen's are the King's men. That's what they called themselves. They didn't call themselves Spanish conquistadors. They were the King's men. And they built these structures up here. And that's where they resided with the Jesuit priests and all the things, teaching the Indians Christianity and bringing God into their lives and all of that, And up here they enslaved the Indians and worked them to death. I mean, they were just horrible to them. And the Indians revolted. And there was different battle sites across this mountain range, and they wiped out the Spanish. Well, when the Spanish didn't return to the king, he's kind of like, well, what's going on? How come I'm not getting any more communication, or no ships are coming back with any precious metals or any gold or anything? And so he sent people out here to find out what happened. And supposedly he never sent anybody after that. And this would have been 1700s, early 1700s. Late 1600s. Spanish came in here in the early 1500s. Is some of the oldest documentation we can find up here in the mountains. I don't know. They might have been here in the 1400s. Nobody really knows. When you read all these stories and you try to decipher all these maps and all these writings and everything, you can decipher some of them. Some of it's pretty plain. It's taking you to a water hole, or it's taking you through a canyon, or we found rocks with pyramids on them. Perfect triangle, and then another one under it, which just scratches what looks like to us, But if we're a trained eye, you can look at the mountain and you can look at those scratches and you can tell what they're trying to tell you and a direction to go. And that's what we do. We follow these symbols. So you'll follow a symbol to another symbol and take you to another symbol, another clue. And pretty soon, you're going to come to the end of that. But you got to be able to decipher these clues left behind, and they're getting to be less of them all the time. The Indians destroy a lot of these things, and so does white man. I'm not just picking on anybody. This is just fact. They don't, and a lot of treasure hunters will destroy some of these symbols and signs, so you can't find the treasure. Only they know where that symbol was and how to decipher it, and then they destroy it in fear that somebody's going to find their treasure before them. Destroy all this heritage.
So let me ask you then. So the Spaniards had to come from where? Spain? Is that where they came from, or?
Well, the first bunch of Spanish that came here came, if you can believe this or not, down South America when they first came here, and then they found other trade routes in the Gulf and off the West Coast. And back then there was water, much more water. During those days, they find ships out in the desert. We've got a Spanish galleon out there by Delta that's lodged, part of it, you can still see the wood, lodged up in the cliffs. How did that get there? It's part of a Spanish galleon. There must have been water when they were here up that high in order for them to sail a ship into the side of the bank like that.
But so if they came, so say South America, where they came from, or wherever they came from, wouldn't there be gold down where they're at? Why would they come all the way here for what I'm assuming for the gold, right?
When they tortured Montezuma, they actually threw a coup against the Incas and the Aztecs. They actually got them to fight each other. Well, when they tortured Montezuma, told them this is where they got the gold. It was up here. A lot of people think down Kanabs, southern Utah, which probably is some there too. But when you go up here in these mountains, you find ancient trails. I mean, before the Spanish were here, Spanish didn't do that. So when they tortured them, they told them, drew them a map and told them this is the only mountain range that travels east and west. You're not going to mistake it when you go cross country. You're going to see this mountain range and you're going to know this is where you got to go. So they came here to get some of that gold. See, they left and went back to Cuba to reinforce. And when they came back, the ancients had already moved a lot of the gold, and that's El Dorado. That's the story of El Dorado in Dakota Conche, down South America by the Andes stuff. That's part of that story, but that's another direction. So your question is why they come here, and that's why they came here to get the gold, where they had gotten it from, and they thought that seeing as how it was gone, they brought it back here, which they did a lot of it, but a lot of it went into the Dakota Conche too. It's an underground tunnel system that is still in existence today, and for your listeners and viewers, I might leave that one alone. That starts getting a little deep into the elder race sometimes.
Yeah. Well, so you're out there looking for. Wow, look at that rock cut perfectly square almost. So you're out looking for the gold bars still, are you? Gold or silver bars, or what is it exactly that you want to try? What is your goal to try to find out there?
You know, I mean, that's just money. We can get money. I mean, if people think they're going to go up in these mountains and they're going to find fame and fortune, and if that's what they're after, more than likely they're not going to find anything. It's meant for the person that's going to be found. This stuff's protected. It's protected by the ancient gods. That's why a lot of times, like Skinwalker Ranch, for a prime example, they know there's something in that mountain, but they can't get to it. They have equipment failure. They have electronic failure. They have all of their high-tech equipment they have failure with. It's protected. They don't want you there. They don't want them getting inside that mountain because when they drilled, they got all that metal out of there that we know is what you use. It's not natural occurring, and they make computers out of it.
Hey, Mike, why don't you explain who they are?
So this would be a group of people that were put together by financed by a guy that sells real estate in Salt Lake. I'm not going to mention his name. And he put together some scientists and some photographers.
Well, that's the one that owns the ranch,
people that are experts in their field.
Is that who that is? Who owns the ranch?
That's who owns Skinwalker Ranch.
But what I'm talking about, Bigelow?
Yeah, well, Bigelow used to own it. Now it's somebody else.
Yeah, okay. Bigelow bought that from my last wife's aunt and uncle.
That's right.
So have you been into Skinwalker?
No.
And the other one close by is Blind Frog.
Blind Frog Ranch.
Have you been in that one?
Yeah, I've been there.
So how far away are those places from here?
Nautical miles, maybe 25
miles?
20 to 25 nautical miles. If you drive it, it might be 40.
Wow. So have you seen any weird stuff going on around here?
All the time. It'd be uncommon not to.
Yeah.
Even when you're in the mountains, you see some of the strangest, most bizarre things. My horses pick stuff up when I'm up there. They'll look around, their ears will perk up, and they'll look, and they're looking at something over there. And I swore just before they did that, I seen something out my peripherals all the time, like shadows, like a shadow would just. And I even seen it in my peripherals go behind it, and I rode over there, and there was nothing there. And every once in a while, not every single trip, but every once in a while, you'll catch something, and my horse will perk up and look that way, and my horse seen it too. You know, there's nothing there. Wow. I mean, you see, so me and my buddy are up there, and we're on the side of the hill, and we had orbs come out of the hill that were in a triangle shape. There was 3 of them, and they were green, and they're about as big as a basketball, and they come right down over top of us. Right on top of us, over us, right down, and went right down the canyon. We turned around and watched them until they disappeared down the canyon. But there's a lot of things living in these mountains, things that are unexplainable. That they're not really unexplainable if you understand that realm.
So then we can go on to Bigfoot. two guys there that have actually seen Bigfoot. And one of the guys' names, I don't remember the other guy's name, but the one guy's name is Daryl Wilson. And he will actually be speaking about what he's seen years back. And it happened to be a Bigfoot. So up in the high Uintas, it's very highly possible you might see a Bigfoot. So, you have any stories you've ever seen or heard?
You've heard that guy, Bigfoot Alien Hunter.
Yeah, the Bigfoot Alien Hunter.
Bigfoot Alien Hunter.
Yep.
His favorite part of the world's right up here in Timber Canyon.
So that,
Every year. I talked to him. He says it's his favorite part of the world. He says there's more activity out there than anywhere he's ever been. So not just Bigfoot, but I'll tell you a little story. I just bring you one tomorrow.
Okay.
You know, I'll make the short version of it.
Okay.
I'm in Red Creek and I'm building a deck and a porch cover to the edge of the river from this double wide trailer. And on my second day, this guy comes riding down on a four-wheeler. I don't know him. And he comes up there, and first thing, I'm in Utah, first thing he asks me is, "Are you Mormon?" I said, "No, I'm Baptist." He says, "Oh, good." I said, What's going on? Well, can I help you with something? And he says, "Well, I need to share this with somebody." He said, "Do you believe in extraterrestrials or aliens or flying crafts?" I said, "I've seen some pretty weird stuff. I can engage with that. I think it's possible, highly possible." And he says, I was at my kitchen a couple nights ago. And I got up, couldn't sleep, got up about 2 o'clock and 2 o'clock in the morning. I can't remember what he says, early in the morning now. And he gets to his kitchen table and he's having coffee. And he sees a light come on up in the ridge back behind his place. And back then there was hardly nobody living there. And he thought it was really strange. And then after a while, it went out. He didn't see a light bulb or a floodlight, just light up there. So next night, he gets up and looks up there. And again, the next night, that light comes on up there. What's going on here? So the next night, this is like a week before I start this job. He said just the other day he'd done this. He walked up the ridge, snuck up there by where this light comes on early in the morning, and just kind of stayed there and waited. Hiked up in the day when it was evening time, so he was up there for 5, 6, 7 hours waiting, patient. And so he sits there and that light comes on and he can see it just 50 yards away. He says, "This light come on. No light bulb, no nothing, just the sky lights up. And out of the mountain," that's what he tells me, "out of the mountain, 2 gray aliens walked out of the mountain." Walked right out of the dirt. Just walked like the dirt wasn't even there. They didn't shake the dirt off or nothing. They just walked right out of it. And he says, and they looked up into the heavens for about 2 hours. Stayed looking straight up in the air. Put their heads down, walked back into the mountain. Lights went out. He goes over there in dirt. Getting daylight now. Goes over there and he kicks around where these aliens walked out of the side of this hill, and it's just dirt and rocks. He couldn't explain it, so he's telling me this story. And I says, "Oh, whatever, not methadone or something, I'm thinking." The guy's losing it. So he invites me over to his trailer. He says, "You come over to my trailer tonight." And I'm thinking, man, I don't want to be in this guy's trailer. I might be armed, So I did. I took my pistol. And I went over there. I was curious. And slept on his couch, and he wakes me up about midnight, and he makes some coffee. And we're sitting there having coffee, and about 1 o'clock in the morning, that daggum light come on up on that hill. And at that point, I thought, maybe there's more to this. I think maybe this guy might be right. So I get busy, how life gets you. You're working, and I had a wife then, and talking like this, you won't have a wife then. I'll commit you. So I don't go back for a few years. Well, I got one of my buddies says he'd like to see an alien. First thing comes to my mind is this story. I said, I can take you to where there's supposed to be some. And so he said, all right, take me. So in the daytime, I took him and showed him the ridge where they walk out of that mountain up there. And so he gets a couple of his buddies together, and they've got this big plan. They're going to go get these aliens. I don't know if they're going to lasso them or what they're going to do, but these rednecks are going to go up there, and they'll probably have a few beers before they go, I'm sure. They don't go anywhere without their beer. So they never did go. So there's going to be some outfit at this meeting that Terry Carter was telling me about that are alien hunters. Now, I emailed alien hunters. I emailed 3 or 4 different outfits. They're alien hunters, so they got to be crazy, right? Half out of their mind anyway. They might be really what's going on, but you got to be able to actually go hunt them. I mean, like, I'm going to go hunt Bigfoot tonight. I'm going to go find Bigfoot. That's right. You're not going to find Bigfoot unless he wants you to find him. So I'm going to take him up there. I'm going to take these guys, tell them the story. I'm going to take them up there and show them the ridge. If you're alien hunters, then you'll be here at 1 o'clock in the morning. If you're not, you'll be sleeping in your bed down at the motel, waiting for the gathering to get going tomorrow. We'll see what kind of alien hunters they really are.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. That sounds like it, huh?
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
So far.
If nothing else, we're going to have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Going to have a blast. Maybe do a jig.
A jig?
Yeah. You never done a jig?
I don't know what's
a
a
happy
jig.
dance? You don't have a happy dance?
I got a lot of happy
How
dance.
are you when you were really happy? You're just like you are right now?
Oh, I can't do that.
You can't do happy?
I can't do my
Come on,
happy
do
dance.
happy.
Happy,
Let's
happy,
get a video.
happy. Happy. All right, so that's the plans then. We're going to go on this rendezvous treasure hunting thing. Starts Friday, huh?
Yeah.
Friday and Saturday, we got our days planned.
I get to work
Do you?
Friday.
You're not going to be up there?
Not till after work.
Oh.
Friday.
But you've already seen everything anyways.
No.
No?
I don't know or seen probably just a fraction of what there is to be seen up here or heard. I've heard some pretty good lies.
Mm-hmm.
Close up.
Look into my eyes. You're getting sleepy. Show me the gold.
I am too.
All right, man.
You're like me, you go to bed early.
Yeah. Okay.
Get up late and play all day.
I gotta see what everybody's been kind of saying here. Let's see. I've lost. Let's see. Whoa, man.
We lost them all.
No, they're Spanish. Let's see. They were not the first ones there. Time and Tide MD. Hello, Stephen Peasley. Hello, Keith and Win at you prospecting. Aaron Childs. Let's see. Gary Jocham. David. Let's see who I missed here.
You're not videoing no more.
Yes, it's still videoing. Benzo Gold. Randy's Treasures. Yep. See. Roland Sexton. Hello, Craig Carter. Born and raised in Utah. Spent my youth in the Uinta Mountains, hunting, hiking, etc. Beautiful state. Victoria Peak, where that's at. Dennis, hello. Okay, let's see. Okay, did I get caught up on everything? I don't have a very big screen. So, smoke break. Yeah, smoke breaks. Mushrooms? Yeah, okay. You might crap your pants. I'm sure I would. Good story. His history. Cool. Yeah, this guy puts the story across well. Keith, how did I miss you? And okay.
I'm not a storyteller.
Anyways.
It's just
all right, guys.
Happened to me. These things that happen when they happen to you. And I hope that when we go up on the mountain, something happens to you.
Yeah, no, I hope not.
So you have your own story.
Oh.
So we can video you. Hey, man, what was that like? Did you find anything? Did you go down in there?
Yeah, I was with some crazy nuts that took me to the top of a mountain. Okay. All right, let me try to flip this camera back around. Oops, I just did that again. I didn't mean to do that.
There's a lot of things like milk fishermen and all of that.
We got to try to flip this camera back around. Let's see, back view, front view camera. All right, here we are back here, guys. Let me see if I can get this back out there. There we are there. All righty. So that's anyway, the whole thing going on here. I got to find my brand. I got to find my exit out of here. So you guys all be cool. Have a safe rest of your week. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be up here listening to some treasure stories and following the clues and looking for some Spanish treasures. So, hey, you guys all take care. Get out there, find yourself some little gold, make your own treasure. So until our paths cross.
And then by the month or 2